back for business. Making this video, I make it no secret that I love Harbor Freight, and I buy a lot of stuff from there. But I'm gonna complain a little bit about this one. I bought these fuel hoses, oxygen acetylene hoses at Harbor Freight probably about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. And these have never been outside. They have never been abused. I probably don't have 2 bottles of gas through these hoses. And look at this shit. If it'll even focus that close. Oh, this is just fucking insane. Now, and it's not just the ends. Like I've had hoses go bad at the ends here from flexing, but this is the whole length of this hose is dry rotted to a point where it's leaking. I went out to use my torch this morning, which is also a Harbor Freight torch, and it's getting shit canned too. I'm going out and buying. I'm going to go buy a good Victor set today. I'm going to take the hit and spend the $500 on a Victor set. I have a Smith's, but it's old, and I have a Smith's torch, but I don't use it very often because it's kind of small. I need something a little bit bigger. I needed the Rosebud this morning. And actually, I think this Rosebud, I have to look, but I think the Rosebud is not Chinesium. I'm not sure. It might be. Doesn't matter because it's all getting shit canned today. I'm not afraid of fire. I'm not afraid of fire by any stretch of the imagination. But every once in a while I have a moment, like, look, it's the whole length of these. And I understand torch hoses go bad. I've replaced torch hoses before. As a matter of fact, the torch hoses that came with this Harbor Freight set were in pretty bad shape when I got them. So I'm like, oh, fuck it, I'll just go to Harbor Freight and buy another set of torch hoses. And holy shit, these things, they literally, the entire length of the hose is like this. This morning I needed to straighten out some metal. I needed to heat some stuff, and I turned my tanks on, and I could see, or I could smell and hear gas coming out. So the actual leak is down here. The actual leak, now once again, I understand that these are bent, but the actual leak is here. It's not even on a bent stretch, but look at this shit. So forever how much I say I love Harbor Freight, I will never, ever, 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 and I cannot recommend and do not recommend any Harbor Freight welding hoses. No fucking way. And like I said, these aren't, I mean, they're old, but there's no, I had a set of torch hoses on my torch at the body shop that were at least 25 to 30 years old, and they didn't look anything like this. I've had problems with this torch since I bought it. I bought it off a friend who, I don't blame the friend. I willingly bought it. Now today's going to be a go to Keene and pick up a new torch. Now, the flashback arresters are actually Smith's, I think. Flow safe. The flashback arresters are good, but the rest of the torch, I'm getting new regulators too. I'm just going to buy a whole Victor, journeyman kit or whatever, and just be done with it. But holy fuck. Whew. What's in the box? Well, what's in the box? We're gonna find out. Hopefully this is a new torch set. So the beginning of the video here is me showing the Chinesium the failure of the Chinesium in my Harbor Freight, my Harbor Freight, yeah, it's the right thing, torch kit. So yesterday I went to my gas supplier and I bought a brand new name brand torch kit. Now I was going to get a Victor. There's only a couple choices: Victor, Harris, or Smith's Miller. I actually have a Smith's torch from the 1960s, if not older, that is a really nice torch. I actually really like it, but it leaks, and it's leaked forever, so I don't use it anymore. It needs to be rebuilt, and it's just not worth it, because I can buy a new one. And that's what I did. I said, fuck this noise, and I bought a brand new torch kit. And there it is. Miller Smith Industries, or Smith Equipment. Let's see here, probably made in China, but Waterton, South Dakota. I'm pretty sure there's at least the company of origin is at least the company of origin is the United States. So as good as I could get. What do you call it? The Victors were just really expensive. I got this for I get this and a new fresh bottle of acetylene for $417. I think, quite frankly, I think the bottle of acetylene was $17 and this was $3 something. They cut me some slack on the price because I'm a regular customer there. They always give me a good deal. I'm not some mook off the street that doesn't spend money there. I've got a good bit of money tied up with that jobber. Between bottle rentals and, you know, when I blow glass, I run oxygen. I run through T tanks of oxygen like they're free. I ran through so much oxygen at one point that they were trying to talk me into going to liquid oxygen. So that was another thing with the Victors. I need something to get really hot, to heat big areas. This is pretty big. Now I have a plasma cutter, so if I want to do a lot of cutting of relatively thin material, I can do it with the plasma cutter. Trying to open this. Yeah, one of the 100 reasons I got rid of the Harbor Freight one was, first of all, the damn thing never worked for shit. And it was like hodgepodge together, and it was what it was. You know, I got it for a pretty decent price with a cart, which ironically I never used, because it wasn't something that I needed, because I already had a cart. Now I'm sure, you know, opinions are like assholes, and somebody's going to tell me I bought junk. Which actually, it's not junk, but it is definitely not the heavy-duty system that I was kind of hoping to get. This is a light-duty torch, and the reason I went with the light-duty torch is because my acetylene bottle can't vaporize enough acetylene to push a big torch. It just can't. So, and I didn't know that. It never really occurred to me. Kind of trying to, hell with it. Whoops. It's the torch body. Ooh, free pair of safety glasses. They're pretty cool. this is an MB55A-300 medium duty torch cup kit outfit. I know and I understand that I could have probably bought this off of Amazon or some other online supplier cheaper than I did buying it at my local store. And that I bought this at my local store because it's my local store. Oh, a new striker. I got about 20 of these, but you can always use a new one. I actually like this because it came with lighter hoses that I have. It's a 25-foot hose, which is more than enough. I had a 50-foot. The Chinesium hoses were 50 feet long, and to be totally 100% honest, not only were they too long, they were very unwieldy to deal with. We'll stick this over here. And I was wasting more gas purging those lines every time I went to use the torch. If I needed to use the torch for 5 minutes, it took forever to purge the lines. So, what's in the box? What's in the box? Instructions here. Protect yourself and others from injury. Oxyacetylene torch kit is not something that you want to futz around with without a little bit of training. I mean, if you just go and buy one, the chances of you burning something up or blowing yourself up without, yeah, you can read a book, but the truth of the matter is you need some old fuck like me to explain a little bit of what's going on. And that was another thing with the Chinesium kit that I had, is the Chinesium kit didn't have, that's actually kind of a big tip to get a smaller tip for this. This is the welding brazing tip, so I'm going to have to get another one. This is a rosebud, this is a heating tip. And this was the one that I really needed. This is the one I really wanted. If I'm going to do any fine welding with this thing, I'm not going to do any fine welding with this, unless I'm forced to. Chances are, I have a high frequency TIG welder. I have a I have a regular MIG welder. My arc welder, my TIG welder can be an arc welder. It goes up to 180 amps if you push it. At 180 amps, it's literally pushing the limits of its duty cycle, but it'll do it. This is the cutting head. This is exactly like the one I had. The Smiths that I have. Matter of fact, I might take a second and look through my pile of shit over there and see what I got. So this is the cutting tip. These are a consumable item. Didn't come with a tip cleaner. I'm shocked, actually. It usually comes with tip cleaners. Kits. Alright, so this screws onto this, and then it's your cutting torch. I'm not a big, I don't use a cutting torch unless I need to. I use them. I mean, it's obviously that's what it's for. But if I need to heat something, I'm going to use a proper heating tip. This is for brazing or welding. This is a 205, just for shits and giggles. Let me see what I got. This is my old one. Actually, it looks like it's about the same. Yeah, this is a Smiths made in the UK. Yeah, so these are good lines, and they're these are good lines that I bought probably 20 plus years ago, and they're not cracked, unlike the Chinesium ones that I just took off, which were cracked and shitty. This is an AW10. This is a WH100. So it's basically exactly the same torch body, though. And that might be a little bigger even. Doesn't matter, because we're done with it. This is it. I mean, I don't need anything bigger than this. This is perfectly fine. I needed, but the gauges, the Chinese gauges, you couldn't even tell how much fuel, it was junk. It was totally junk and dangerous. And I said, hell with it, we're buying a new one. So yeah, this is the cutting tip. This is a small heating tip or welding brazing tip. This is a rosebud. It's a large heating tip. The only thing I might buy for this is a smaller welding tip. This is a 205. I'll probably buy a 100 because that's a pretty big hole. If I need to weld anything little, I'm just going to use these are flashback arresters. I never used to run flashback arresters until I started having a lot of popping with the other Chinese torch. Well, it turns out that the other Chinese torch was popping because I couldn't push enough acetylene through it to make it work right. When you get a lot of popping out of a heating tip, it's because you're not gasifying enough acetylene. Found that out yesterday. These are usually right-handed, left-handed. Fuel is always left-handed. Oxygen's always right-handed. Fuel is always left-handed. So let's read the instructions real quick here, and we'll get back.